Hello, it's day 124, the Liberator Project, and well, I'm really not feeling 100% today. I think I've had a bit of a cold. I keep sneezing, bunged up. I've took, codeine, vitamin C, paracetamol, and I'm probably going to have an early night. I'm really not feeling my normal self, but I do appreciate the irony. The irony. Oh God, codeine's great stuff, but it does have side effects, right? I do appreciate the irony of going on a march where there's no masks and everyone's antiviral, anti-vaccine, and catching a virus and ending up getting getting a cold from it. I'm not with it. You probably gathered that, but anyway, today, well, I've not been feeling my usual ebullient self. Is that the word? Not ebolia. I can't even think of it. Effervescent self, then. What I've done today is, well, I've created a Parler account for the Liberator Project. So if we're ever going to do any broadcasts or tweets or anything, I will do it via that page. I've put up a page at the moment. It's got just a placeholder really, but that's while I'm sort of in the flat and messing around. That's not an issue, but when I get a boat, it might be more useful to have a Twitter account or an equivalent of a Twitter account. So I thought I'd go for a Parler account. That's sorted out and running. And also I went back to the sailing forum, and oh my God, these people. Now, bear in mind, I haven't been onto the sailing forum for quite a while. A good couple of weeks. I think I told you the last time I went on it, because I was a bit sick of them. There was pages and pages of posts on my thread, all telling me the engineering won't work and I was an idiot and how could I be such an effing idiot. And it was like, guys. And then they seemed to think they'd won by the fact that I'd left the site. Well, that is absolutely, what a way of thinking. What sort of people are they? And it wasn't just me. There was some other guy who wanted to do to make a boat out of recyclable waste or something. And good luck to the guy. I think he would fail, but anyone tries anything, that's a wonderful thing to try. I'd like to encourage it. And certainly it's no skin off my nose. I mean, I'd love to see what he does. And, even if he fails, which I, probably would, but I'd have been very interested to see what he'd done. And there may be some ideas he had that were really good and we could have learned from them. You learn from other people's experience. You learn from your own experience. If someone's prepared to do something and go out on a limb, well, good luck to them. I like that sort of innovation. And but they were sort of patting each other on the back like, "How we got rid of him?" It's like, what? I suppose the trouble is with any group of people, it eventually gets infiltrated by total assholes, and they become very one-upmanship, like who can be the biggest arsehole. Now, I've seen this on microprocessor pages when I've had a forum about microprocessor design. And what happens is most people in the world are very nice people. They've just got, they've got their own problems to worry about. But, if they're decent people, they're not going to go out of their way to be, to screw someone else over. Very few people are crooks. Most people are really nice and very helpful. And given the right circumstances, people will help each other out. And say on the microprocessor forums, there'd be some new guy who would come along. Now, if it was a student who wanted you to do his work for him, like he had an assignment and couldn't be bothered to solve it himself, that was, I've got no time for people like that, But if someone genuinely asked me a question, I could take the time to write an answer and help them out, and they're learning. And also, when you teach people things, you learn stuff yourself as well. It gets things clearer in your own head. So, oh God. Sorry, I'm fading a bit. I'm trying to get the rant going. If I can get a good rush of adrenaline, I can keep going to the end of the video. So, I was saying. So, basically, if a new guy comes along, doesn't know something, it's perfectly okay not to know something. I mean, It's like, you don't know something, just say honestly, you don't know it, what's wrong, and people will take time to explain it to you. Well, most decent people will. However, then there's the arseholes of the world. And these are people that want to, perhaps they're insecure about their own abilities, or they just want to feel good by putting other people down. And some guy will ask a question. I mean, I'm talking about the microprocessor forum here, but it applies equally well to the sailing forum. I don't know if this works. And their immediate response is, huh, you don't know how that works. Well, no, he doesn't. That's why he asked. And once you've explained it to him, then he will know. And that's better for everyone. But some people delight in dragging that out, that moment of pseudo victory over them. And they won't just give a straight answer. I mean, it really infuriates me. It's like, in the end, I'd tell them, even that, as soon as I had chance at work or at lunchtime, I'd actually tell them the answer. But loads of people are just reveling, like teasing the answer, not telling him, just sort of admit you don't know. And it's like, anyway, that's the sort of people I hate in the world. Very negative people and very arrogant and smug individuals. And sadly, as I said, almost every forum attracts them. Now, on the sailing forum, I went there. Now, I'm pretty good with engineering. It's not a problem. And if it goes wrong, I can sort it out. I've got friends to help me. And, if it all goes wrong, it's not their problem. It's my problem. So in every post, or virtually every post I put up, I said, look, I don't need any help with the engineering. I know what I'm doing. But I know, virtually nothing about sailing. I want to know about sailing. But no. While there's some really nice people on there, and they were very good, and they gave me advice about sailing courses and what to do and what to be careful of. I really appreciated that. Sadly, there's about half a dozen people who are just arseholes. I think that's the technical term. What else can you say about them? And I do appreciate that, I'm English and we have different levels of courtesy and politeness compared to other countries. I mean, Elaine used to often say that to me. She goes, you can't expect everyone to speak like you do because you're English. And, fair enough, that's a good point. But there is a sort of base level of courtesy. And, when someone's asked you for advice and you're immediately coming back with F words and insulting them, it's like, I don't care what country you're from, even if you're American, that's rude and that's not helpful, and that's just you being an arsehole and putting other people down. So good, I'm getting fired up now, I can carry on. That's good. So anyway, on the sailing forum, pages and pages of shit from people, and it was like, they kept coming back to my boat, telling me about hydrogen, like, yes, and it is dangerous, and it might not work. Okay, it doesn't work. I think it will, but if it doesn't, I'll fix it. Or if not, I'll go back to petrol. It's like, that wasn't the reason I was on the forum. And that's not a problem for me. It's like in some way or other, in some way or other, I will sort a boat out. Okay, that can happen. And I might make mistakes, but I'm not asking them for anything. It's like, if I make a mistake, watch and enjoy the failure. If you're that sort of person, just and if it succeeds, enjoy the success, and if it fails, laugh along with me, because if things go horribly wrong, sometimes you do just have to laugh, even when it's your money that's flushed down the toilet. So anyway, that was the one page of my own page on the forum, which I've now deleted. I mean, it was just pointless. I mean, everyone was, despite asking them about sailing, all I was getting was abuse about, you don't know about engineering, you know nothing about this, you're an idiot, you're a fool, this is not going to work. It's like, guys. I just want to know what you recommend to learn, courses you recommend to learn about sailing. What's wrong with you? But anyway, that was my own thread, which I've deleted. And also I was on the 9 till 5 lessons thread. Now, that was a young couple that got a catamaran, and it was a very small catamaran and it had loads of disasters. But it used to be a really fun channel. I used to watch it every time they posted a new video up. Unfortunately, the couple broke up, and the guy going alone is really not as entertaining or as fun, so I've stopped watching now. But on their thread, again, people were like continually having to go at me. Bear in mind, I haven't been there for for quite a while. And then some guy wrote to me saying, "You've taken over this thread. How dare you?" I was like, "I've done nothing. I haven't even been there. I haven't posted a thing." And it's just other people who just feel like they're one-upmanship of trying to be bigger assholes than the other people on the site. And it's all the time. It's about the engineering side, and it's like you don't know. Like, how dare you? I'm very well qualified, and they were questioning whether I was a design consultant, whether I had any qualifications in electronics, whether I was in engineering. It's like, well, screw you. I've posted. I talk completely openly with this, and I post things up on my channel. I've talked about my career. I've talked about my academic background, and I've also talked quite freely about things where I've failed. Like my health has been terrible. I've talked about things that really upset me. Like the fact that steroids affected me so badly with my grown breasts and the bacterial infection that ate half my face away. I don't got anything to hide. This is who I am, and but no, they just want to feel good by putting other people down, and they were still going on and berating me for what? One guy said, "If you asked for advice, what do you expect?" And I'm like, well, I asked for advice about sailing, and telling me I'm an effing idiot is really not helpful to anyone, is it? Perhaps I'm old-fashioned, perhaps I'm too English here, but that's the sort of level of abuse you were getting, and then it was, "You're so ungrateful." Anyway, that sailing forum, I've deleted the thread. I say I can't be bothered with these people, and when it comes to sailing, the plan was to, when I thought I could sell my house, was to live near Portsmouth Marina or even Paul or somewhere on the south coast and do some sailing courses there. Now, there's opportunities to join a crew and do a bit of sailing, once I get a bit fitter. And, there's opportunities to learn sailing. So I think what I'd do is I actually go to somewhere in person and, go into the local, the fisherman's bar or something and just sort of ask round, because, people are very unlikely to call me an effing idiot to my face, because, that would go down very badly. And I don't think people are that brave to just go around calling strangers that without, I'm not saying I'm not gonna beat anyone up or anything. Possibly. Well, it depends what they say, but realistically, people are cowards. They're not gonna. You wouldn't go up to a stranger and pick a fight, even if top tip. I was when I was doing a lot of karate. I had to move. I had to do a job in Birmingham, so I went to a fight club, and that wasn't karate. That was all sports. It was basically a 3-minute scrap with someone, and the one of the guys I fought, he was well over 6 foot. He's a huge black guy, and he was just wearing silk boxer shorts, and he'd oiled himself up, and he had the muscles. He looked absolutely fantastic, and also he's about a foot taller than me. I just went, oh God. But in a fight, he was useless because he was so muscle bound and slow. I beat him, and I was like, wow. But you would never ever dream of taking that guy on in a fight. Whereas there's another guy who's only about 5'4", skinny little guy, and he was a kickboxer. And basically, I've never been, well, I don't think I've ever been so outclassed in a fight. I mean, he hit me so many times I didn't even know how he was hitting me, and I didn't. Unlike me, I didn't get one touch on him, and he kicked me in the face and punched me, and I was, so, in a fight, you look at the two guys and you go, well, I wouldn't dare mess with that big bastard, but that little guy would be like, whereas in reality it was the other way around. So that's why people don't pick fights with people, because you never know what you're getting into, and that's why people are polite and courteous as a rule. And also, that's just from a self-preservation. Excuse me. This is from a self-preservation point of view. also from a sort of you want to live in a community where people help you and you help other people. It's reciprocated. So, you know, if you make the world a better place, hopefully the world's better for you as well. That's my, oh, God, I'm not a hippie by any way, but that's a logical way of looking at it. So anyway, that was 15 minutes of me. I feel a lot better actually. I feel I've got some energy now. I feel fine. I'm not going for a run or anything, but I do feel a lot better than when I started. So that's summary of the day today's Liberator project. Basically, we've got a Parler account, and you know, the sailing forum. It's just like, you know, they can go and they can leave me alone. That's the end of that. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. See you tomorrow. Bye.